Welcome to TFL Truck, and of course, I have my man,
Mr.Truck.com.
which means you are about to watch a very special episode of Ask Mr. Truck, because this is number 10, Kent.
Okay.
And today, I'm going to give him a hint of the last question, but don't answer it. Cummins or Duramax? Don't answer it. You're going to have to wait to the end, because that's going to be a big question and a big answer. So before we get to the questions that you guys have sent in, I want to kind of give a shout out to this.
Truck Nuts, the book.
This man and Andre worked really hard to put together a comprehensive, Kent, a comprehensive modern guide to modern trucks.
That's what it is, a guide. It tells you everything you want to know about trucks and buy new and used and transmissions.
You know what I'm doing, Kent?
Everything.
We get like probably, a half a dozen questions a day, Ask Mr. Truck. I just say, buy this.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, then we can stop doing these videos. We'll just stay home and drink coffee and cinnamon rolls.
Buy this, because literally your question is answered in this book.
Yeah, we tried very hard to get the most popular questions, the ones that you really need the answers to.
Yeah, and it's available on Amazon. It's available everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it. This is an interesting question right now because we are in the middle of winter. Mm-hmm. And Tim Fees, I believe his name is frustrated. And he says, I'm pretty frustrated with my 2016 Chevy 1500 four-wheel drive Silverado with the Z71 off-road package and 265/65 R18 all-terrain tires. And he's saying that the owner's manual will not allow him to put chains on the front.
Well, the reason I think is for that, and I'd like to see an owner's manual of a 2500 heavy duty, because they should have a problem with it. But a lot of those half-tons have an all-wheel drive system, and all-wheel drive is not as robust as a regular two-speed manual setup system, which is very good. Now, me on the farm, we used to always use chains on the front. You use chains on the front, it's like a front-wheel drive car, and you can steer it, and you can go a lot further. So that's a very common thing. I understand him wanting to do that, but if the owner's manual says put them on the back, that's your warranty. You've got to kind of do that. And they'll do pretty well on the back. It's just hard to beat the front. I know he wants to do all four, but if you get limited slip, you get the chains on the back. I mean, you can go through unbelievable stuff.
You know, I'm not a big fan of chains. I think they can damage your vehicle. I think that they are a pain in the ass to put on when it's cold. I think they're a pain in the ass to take off when it's cold. So I would say go to the store, get some KO2s, and just sort it out with a good set of KO2s, which we found on our Raptor to be phenomenal tires. Great in the snow, great off-road, and actually really good in the dry as well. So
they can tear your fenders up. I know that. That's just how it works. But you know, you can get snow socks now. No nylon thing, and Mercedes and a bunch of those car companies have them. You just stick that sock around the tire.
What kind of truck is that with this? It's like some kitty cat with like little. Come on, no truck guy's gonna put snow socks on his truck, man. I am surprised by that answer. I am really surprised.
I'm sorry.
I better get to number 2 right away. Now this look at this question, guys. I could read this for the next hour, so I'm just going to summarize it. And basically, Jason Nyhoff purchased a 26 Ram 3500 quad cab, and he's not happy because he's not getting all 900 pound-foot of torque in first gear. Well, he's not happy. He wants his torque.
Well, you know, we did the Ike Gauntlet on that when it came out with the 900 pound-feet of torque. And we did the whole show explaining about the torque management.
Yeah, why don't you tell them the issue?
Yeah, you know, if you got a big dually, you got a big truck, with all that power and torque, you're gonna be spinning the tires. You know, it'd be like one of these Hellcats. You know, you got to start in third gear to get without smoking them.
If you have so much torque that in first gear you would tear the tires off of it, even on a dually. So they limit the amount of torque that you can get in first and even in second gear.
Right, and on the Ram you have to get to third to get that 900 pound-feet of torque. That's how it is. But you know, he also says in there that he's a big Ram fan, then he traded him off to get the Ford, and he bought a Ford 2017 F250.
Yep.
But now he has another problem. That's got torque management also. You have to get the second gear in those to get 100% of that 900 and whatever it is, 20 foot-pounds of torque, whatever they are.
He calls it bait and switch.
Well, it sounds like he had more problems than most people do with that torque management, really losing the power when he launched, because it took him too long to get through intersections, I think he was talking about. And I understand it, but then GM, for 2017, they have no torque management. So when we did the thing at the track in Texas, first gear dually 10,000 pounds, we were just smoking away. And I think GM is doing that because they want to give you that power, but it's a way to learn to drive. You know, you feather it out. You don't sit there and just wide open throttle at the light. That's.
I guess it depends what you want the truck for, right? If you're going to use it to tow, well, this truck can tow almost 30,000 pounds, depending how it's set up, right? Then you're not going to have an issue, I don't think, with the torque management. If you're using it to go drag racing, then you might have an issue.
Right, and I'm not saying Ram is really fast off the line anyway. That's not where their thing is. Ford's really fast off the line. GM's second place, but that's really not how Ram manages their trucks. And I'm sorry you're not happy with it, but I don't know that the Ford's going to make you any happier because it's torque management also.
So there you have it. You got to switch to GM. God help you. if you're a Ram guy. All right, let's keep going. Daniel Seiler asks 2 questions. He's getting a 2-for-1 here, Kent. First of all, he wants to know, will Chevy ever build a 4.5-liter Duramax and put it in a truck? Well, actually, will the Chevy trucks get the 4.5-liter Duramax?
Well, where do we put the crystal ball? Is it here somewhere? Because we have no way of knowing. They're really secretive about all that. I mean, they all could. It all depends. Like Ford now is introducing that 3-liter diesel, so they're all seeing what everybody else is doing. If they get live, just like the Eco Diesel from Ram is selling pretty well. If they can get that,
I have heard hide nor hair of any 4.5-liter diesel going into any GM midsize trucks.
It's a crystal ball question.
I don't think so. And the other question that he has is, will Dodge, or in this case Ram actually, see him once again, stuck in the old days, will Ram bring the Dakota back? Because it was a Dodge Dakota.
That was, and it was an interesting size because it was the first bigger midsize. Everybody else had mini trucks.
I just saw one on the road. I was like, that's a big truck.
Dakota was, and and that kind of made it popular. But I don't know. I mean, if the midsize market breaks that, now you got Ford jumping in with the Ranger, it's gonna be a pretty crowded market. I don't know if Ram's going to invest in that or not. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I mean, it's possible.
I don't believe it. They've just put off their next generation of heavy-duty trucks.
Yeah.
Right now, the Ram 1500 is the second oldest truck out there after the Frontier.
Yeah.
So they have to redo their heavy-duty trucks. They have to redo their mid-size trucks. Well, no, I'm sorry. They have to redo their full-size trucks. And they are not going to have, I don't think, the money or the resources to do a mid-size truck. I could be wrong. In Chicago, we're going to Chicago next week. Yeah. At the auto show, they may unveil a new Dakota, and you can laugh at me, but I don't see it.
Chicago is where Ram introduces a lot of their trucks.
It's a big truck show, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
a big truck show. And by the way, I did some research on that Ford 2018 3-liter that's going in the F-150.
Right.
That is going to be, I shouldn't say identical, but very similar to the engine that's in the Range Rover 3-liter.
Okay.
Because Ford basically builds that 3-liter Range Rover engine for Range Rover in England, and that's presumably, now I'm on thin ice here, but I think it's okay. That's the engine that's going to go in the new F-150.
Right. Back in the 80s when everybody was talking about a half-ton diesel, they were talking about a Range Rover 4.4 back then. So, I think they had that plan in works for decades.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how much power it puts out. Next question. This is actually a really good question. We get a lot. And it's probably not in the book.
Uh-oh.
Why don't we do reliability testing?
Well, we could for 7 days.
That's exactly right. You put your finger on it.
If they would give us one for a year or 2 years like some of these magazines get, we could do all that. That would be great if they would do that. Why don't we get them to do that? Give us long-term trucks.
Guess what? we're going to get one.
Oh, cool.
For our very first long-term vehicles coming this month. And it's going to be, take a guess.
Is it an off-road truck?
No, it's a 2-wheel drive truck.
Oh, well, then I don't know. I really don't know.
We're going to get the Frontier 2-wheel drive, the SV model, because we wanted a worker truck, because you guys keep asking, why don't we review base worker trucks? And so we asked, and Nissan was kind enough to say yes, so we're going to get like a sub $20,000 truck for 6 months, and we're going to do a series of tests with it, and I'm super excited.
Is it a crew cab or a...
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, because I want a long bed,
I think it's a long bed. It's a long bed, yeah. Yeah, it's an old school truck.
Cool.
All right, shall we keep going? All right, here's an interesting one. This is Dalton Smith wants to know, will they make a Ford Raptor version of the Bronco?
Of course they will. What else would they do? That's again, too, they have so many secrets, and they build these trucks and plan these trucks 10 years away, 5 years away, so who knows, they could be very well be on a drawing somewhere in Ford's secret rooms.
I'd love to see that drawing, huh?
Yeah.
So what would they put in it, an EcoBoost?
Probably a 4-cylinder EcoBoost or something. Who knows?
I'd actually like to see a Raptor version of the new Ranger.
Yeah, I'm ready for the new Ranger to come back. I own a lot of those, and I love the Rangers, and they're everywhere. They were so popular. They're number one selling truck for decades, and then Ford didn't care all of a sudden, and Toyota took over that market. So
wouldn't that be badass? Just a small mini truck with off-road aspirations, like a Raptor. What would they call it?
Well, I don't know. Go against the TRD
the Raptorette?
Pro. Yeah, well, yeah, real. That is what they were called. Those little mini trucks were called truckettes. We called them minis, and we called them motorized wheelbarrows, but they were truckettes.
All right, and of course, as always, we do a bonus question, and this is going to put you on the spot, Kent. It's very straightforward.
Okay.
Duramax or Cummins?
Duramax or Cummins?
Yeah, if you don't know what that is, then you probably shouldn't be watching the show.
Well, you know, that's really hard to pick because they're both good engines. And the Duramax, when it came out in 2001, I was worried about it. Aluminum heads and all this other stuff, and everybody's worried about it.
It was an Isuzu engine.
Yes, and it had some problems, but then it took off like a rocket, and it's been very successful for them. So I'm tickled with Duramax. Cummins, you can't beat the Cummins. It's been in every tractor and semi for decades. So how do you go with it? You mean, you know, the Duramax has proved to be dependable, and the Cummins have proved to be dependable in so many areas. You know, I would always like the V8 for speed, but the Cummins, you know, usually naturally builds more torque. So I don't know. That would be tough because, you know, that I think you got to try them both.
Yeah, you know
Buy
what?
one of each.
You know what my favorite feture was on the Duramax? And
What's
they
that?
just got rid of it. See if you guys can know this. It's a trivia question.
You mean the hand pump?
Yes, you got it. Very good.
I hated that. When if you're changing fuel filters, you run out of fuel, you're out there pumping that stupid primer.
It was the only diesel with the manual. Of course, now
yes.
it's electronic, but it used to have to manually.
Right.
And they did that because it was designed for long-haul trucking in Australia. And they would run out of gas on these road trains that they have in Australia.
Yeah.
And then they had to use the manual pump to prime it.
I've driven internationals back in the old days. That's how you primed them. We did that back in the 70s.
Yeah.
That was pretty common.
And they finally got rid of it with the new one. And speaking of the new one, guess what we have here?
Is it a dually?
Yes, yes, we have it. It's actually Andre has it right now. It came this week, and we are going to be taking it up the gauntlet. I'm not. You're going to be taking it up the
Is the
gauntlet.
hood scoop a controversy?
The hood scoop is badass. It actually is functional, and he's going to be taking it up the gauntlet next week if the weather holds, and then we'll be publishing the video after February 15th because there is an embargo on it, which makes no sense because you can buy them right now at your local Chevy dealer, but they gave us an embargo. It's their truck, their rules. We play by their rules.
Yeah, you can order them. There's a pretty long line in getting those puppies.
Is there really?
Yeah, I think we ought to do some trailer drifting.
Andre took it home with him.
Well, yeah, but that's...
I've been behind the wheel. he just boom, went away.
I hauled my Ram to a transmission shop with it, so I've had some experience.
Oh, you did get to drive it?
Yeah, pulled the trailer.
See, I'm the last one to know. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Remember, check out Truck Nuts at your local bookstore or on Amazon or anywhere else that they sell books online. And Kent, thanks for coming in. And as always, check out tfltruck.com for more news, views,
and real world reviews.
That's right. And if you want to watch some more Ask Mr. Truck segments, just click right here. We'll do a link. See you guys next time. Ciao.